Oh, hello everybody! I didn't even know you were in there. Welcome back to Vlogmas. It is day 19 today. I currently have some mulled wine. Nice and cozy. That is some good mulled wine right there. Anyway, I'm not just here to drink some mulled wine today. I'm here to do a baking video for you all. I have my antlers on, and today we are going to be doing a recipe from my new book, New York Christmas Recipes and Stories. I told you that I was going to be doing one, so today is the day. I am doing the candy cane cupcakes recipe. It is this one right here. I doubt mine are going to turn out like that because I don't even have candy canes with me. I couldn't find any, so we're going to improvise with the candy canes today. But first of all, the thing we've got to do before any other thing is to turn the oven on. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. I have one of these switches that I have to turn on right there. And then I have to preheat my oven to 180 degrees C or 350 degrees Fahrenheit or gas mark 4. I have a fan oven, so I'm doing 180 degrees C. So I'm doing that right now. Perfect! So, the ingredients you will need. This recipe makes 6 cupcakes, so I'm going to just lift the book up right here and show you. Well, not show you, tell you. Oh no, it makes 8, not 6. My eyes have deceived me. You will need, for the dough, 150 grams of flour, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 pinch of salt, 100 grams of butter, 30 milliliters of milk, 2 eggs, 100 grams of caster sugar, and for the frosting you will need 50 grams of butter, softened, 150 grams of full-fat cream cheese, 350 grams of icing sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and also 3 to 4 candy canes if you can find any. Unfortunately I couldn't, so we're improvising tonight. So once you have preheated your oven, I have already done so, I need to place this book somewhere that it's not going to get dirty. It's alright for now, no, it's alright for now. So as you can see here, I have laid out my cupcake tin, that's what you'll need as well, and some cupcake holders. As mine makes 8, I'm going to lay out 8 right here, right now, just so that part is done. So I've laid out my cupcake holders, cupcake cases, cupcake holders, I guess they are cupcake holders, whatever you want to call them. And next up I need to start making the dough. So I need a mixing bowl. Let's just get that. Got my mixing bowl. I'm using my book as a rest now because I have no room on this table whatsoever. I'm also eating my hair. So first of all, I need to combine the flour, cocoa powder, baking powder and salt all in one bowl and mix it all together. So let's start off by doing that. I still have no scales. I do have scales, but they don't have a battery in them, so I need to sort that out. So I'm going to change the measurements and do it in cup sizes instead of what I've said previously, but I'll say each of them all anyway, so it's fine. So I have my cups here, so I need to choose 1 cup, and what that would be, there we go, perfect. 1 cup is this size. So for the flour, I need 150 grams or 1 cup. So I'm doing 1 cup. We're going with American measurements today. It's just plain flour, just normal flour, like this one right here from Tesco. One I bought earlier. So I'm going to move these cases for now because we don't need them. Now I have all this open space, beautiful. So let's get the cup right here. My oven is so noisy. And I'm sure I'll make a mess, no doubt. So 1 cup of flour. I told you, I knew I'd make a mess. And let's put this in the bowl. Perfect. 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Get my tablespoon. This is a tablespoon, just in case you were wondering. Some people do get confused with the measurements, so I thought I'd just let you know, just in case. I have my cocoa powder in a nice tin. So 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Oh, I'm running low. Easy, done. Mixing this is all going to be very easy because it's all just powdery stuff to mix together first of all. I always put everything away as I go along as well, so I have more room. Next up we need the baking powder. So we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And this is a teaspoon. Where is my baking powder. Oh, there it is. It was hiding behind the sugar. So my baking powder doesn't have a lid on it, a label on it at the moment. So I had to guess what it was, but I know this is baking powder. It's fine. So 1.5 teaspoons. There we go. Perfect. And then the pinch of salt. The salt is still up here, so I'm just gonna grab it while I can. A pinch of salt. I'd say that's a pinch. Okay, so now then I just need to combine them all together. Wow, this is such a tricky task. I say this now, but then it probably will be soon enough. It will be a very tricky task when it comes to melting the butter and everything, because that's always a disaster. I usually do melt my butter in the microwave for a bit before doing anything, because it helps the process along and speeds it up a bit faster than normal. Okay, combined all of that together. And then it's time to melt the butter. It says in a small saucepan, but I am not going to do that because I currently have this camera on my hobs, so I'm going to melt the butter in the microwave. There's no harm in that. I need to move all this stuff though, that's the only problem. So I'll just move all of this stuff. There we go, easy. So I am going to need 100 grams of butter. The one thing I like about this book is that it goes in order of the ingredients you need with when you're going to use them, so that I love it when recipes do that, not just having to look all up and down the list of what measurements you need for everything. It's all in the order that you need everything. So it is unsalted butter that you'll need, not salted. I am going to get 150, and then remember to leave 50 grams for the icing as well. I haven't used this butter since I made that pumpkin pie. I'm going to need to move this bowl for a second. There we go. Get my knife out and cut this butter. So make a little line, an incision. These aren't the exact measurements, as you can probably tell. I am guessing. I do this on a regular basis, but this is around 150 grams of butter. My recipes always turn out well, so I think I do pretty well with my measurements. So I'm going to pop this in the microwave. It's just in a little bowl now for a tiny bit. Keep an eye on it because it might melt too fast. I'm going to put this butter aside to soften a bit because I don't need it till the icing. Now I need to stir in the milk. You'll need a measuring jug to measure the milk, of course. So I need 30 millilitres of milk. 30 ml. Oh, this is hard to judge because there's only 100 ml on here. Wow, you don't need much milk. Is this right? Yeah. Okay. In goes the milk, hardly any at all. Done. I just use semi-skimmed milk, but you can use whatever milk you want to. And my butter is melted! Obviously be aware that the bowl may be hot, but mine isn't. It's all melted and nice now, so I just plop this into the bowl. Oh yeah, lovely. Okay, and now I just need to stir this all together and allow it to cool. Lovely mixture. It's becoming more of a proper mixture now, like it's supposed to. Well, I think that's as mixed as it's going to get for now. Currently looks like a nice pile of cow poo. Next is on to adding the butter and, no, not the butter, I've already done that, the eggs and the sugar. Okay, so now I've just put the other bowl to one side and I have to put the sugar into another bowl because now I need to put the eggs inside as well and then whisk in everything and then fold it all together to make a lovely concoction. Crack them eggs, yeah. Oh, goodness me. Yum. Yay, I love using up eggs. Okay, so it says to beat these eggs. I'm using the same spoon, that's why there's some bits of cake in there right now. This is loud! Is that foamy? What does foamy mean? This is pretty foamy. Yeah, that's nice and foamy there. Okay, yeah, there's some foaminess going on in there. There's lots of bubbles, that makes foam. Done. So bring your other bowl back in. It says whisk in the melted butter, which I've already done, and then fold in the dry ingredients. Well, I'm doing it the other way around. So I never really understand the folding process, but I guess I can't really use a spoon for this, so let's give it a go. So you kind of need to do something like this, so it's just, well, when it actually can fold in. so that it gets into every single bit of the cake mixture. I'm going to taste a tiny bit. Mmm. That tastes good. That tastes like proper cake mixture. Okay, so I've done the mixture now. It's just nice and chocolatey looking. So now it's time to spoon in my mixture into the 8 cake cases. So let's do that now. Here they are. So if you fill them up 3/4 of the way, that'll be enough. I didn't think we'd have enough mixture, but I think we've got quite a lot. I hate making a mess. I hate making a mess. Come on. I can do this without spilling any over the side. Cool. I don't usually fill these 3/4 of the way up. That's quite a lot. Okay, it's time to pop them in the oven for around 18 minutes. Keep checking them out. Keep checking up on them just to see when they're looking finished. If the toothpick comes out clean, then they'll be ready to take out of the oven. So I'll see you in around 18 minutes. Oh, hey there! Welcome back. Here is my book again, New York Christmas. Let's head back to the page that we were on. Candy cane cupcakes. I feel like I'm about to tell you a story. And one day they will. Anyway, so it's time to make the frosting while the cakes are in the oven. Let's take this perfect opportunity to do just that. So we're going to need 50 grams of softened butter. So this is pretty soft right now. So I'm going to put the rest of this butter, this is 50 grams worth of butter, plop it in. There we go. So the butter is now empty. I've just got my butter in there. And then it's time to get 150 grams of cream cheese. So I got this soft cheese, it's exactly the same thing. This is 250 grams. So I don't need that much, of course. So let's open this up and get 150 grams worth out. I'll use my tablespoon again. So I'm just gonna plop this in there. There we go. Cool. And that means I have some left over for my Ryvita. Perfect! And then we need 350 grams of icing sugar. I have this icing sugar. There's 500 grams in here, but it has been used already. So there is this is 350 grams exactly of icing sugar. So I am going to use all of this within here. Get in there. This is a lot of icing sugar. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Oh no, I spilled, ah! So just get this. So it's about, I love vanilla essence. Oh, it's nearly empty anyway. I'm just gonna use all of that. I love vanilla extract. I used to have it in my porridge all the time. I need to have porridge again. I love porridge. So I've managed to use up nearly everything today, which is good because then I can get all new stuff for the new year. So now, once all the ingredients have been mashed together, it's time to stir them up. Oh, this is going to be tricky because the butter is soft, but it didn't tell you to melt it this time, so you kind of just have to use brute force to soften it even more. Oh, I've just got some over the side. So I'm going to put this bowl to the side for a second because my muffins are ready to take out of the oven. I have this special contraption that checks to see if they are cold, if they are cooked inside. So let's take a look. They are! There's nothing on here, which means that they are cooked and ready to take out of the oven. Ta-da! They're looking good. It's only just occurred to me that because I'm not making candy cane cupcakes, the only part of the candy cane was the topping, so these aren't candy cane cupcakes at all. They're just regular cupcakes without any candy cane on top. The topping tastes really good. Obviously, before I put the topping on, I need to wait for the cupcakes to cool down, otherwise everything will just melt. So, I don't know how long it takes for them to cool down. I'd probably leave them for half an hour or so and then come back to them. Maybe have some dinner and then come back to them. So that also the topping hardens a bit more because it's quite liquidy at the moment. But that's what it said, it's supposed to be like this. Okay, so my cupcakes have now cooled down. I left them for about half an hour, and also I finished the frosting, icing, whatever you want to call it. It's there. it should be all good to go on the cupcakes. The book said to use a knife to put onto each, put the frosting onto each cupcake, so I'm gonna try and do that. I'm really not good at icing. It also said I could use a piping bag, but I don't have one. So I might try and do it with a teaspoon and then kind of smooth the edges around and just see how it goes. Oh goodness. The icing is still quite liquidy. So these aren't gonna really look the best, but once they've been in the fridge and everything, they'll be fine. They're just not gonna look as anywhere near as good as in the picture on in the book. Maybe if I just do it a bit different. I'm gonna try a different style on each cupcake and kind of dab it on. If I just do it like this instead, that might work out better, because then it looks thicker on top. Maybe I need to have an icing lesson in how to ice cupcakes properly. I think, yeah, that one looks a bit better. It's just like a blob on top. I like it. Yeah, I'll go with this. And there we have it! I've done them! There we go, there are my cupcakes ready to eat. I'm not actually going to put anything on top because I think the icing is already very sweet, and having candy canes on top would make it really Christmassy, but let's just pretend this is snow, okay? This is my take on the candy cane cupcakes anyway. So here you go. So this wouldn't be a baking video without eating a tiny bit of one of them, so let's just have a go. I'm so ready to eat one of these. If I can get the wrapping off. I feel like they are baked to perfection. Okay, right. That is really good. I'm so glad I made these. I will be making these again with the candy canes on top one day. I feel like I've just got food all around my mouth now. But yeah, this has been the candy cane cupcake recipe. This is really good. I'm gonna go eat the rest of this now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you did. And I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye!